Recently, thankfully, my golf game has been improving. My handicap has been nudging down, and while I haven't shot any super low scores, my upper bound has definitely come down and the spread of my scores has gotten a lot tighter. My approach play has generally improved, my putting is fine, and my chipping and pitching, which was genuinely a problem a few months ago when I actually had a case of the yips, has come on leaps and bounds. However, the one thing which has not improved and in fact has regressed is my driving. Now, when I was a high handicap golfer, this was undoubtedly a relative strength of mine and I could drive the ball pretty well for someone of my skill level. Unfortunately, as the other parts of my game have improved, my driving has gotten steadily worse. For a while I had a wipey cut which would sometimes descend into a full-blown slice, but I could at least rely on the ball going fairly consistently in one direction. Recently though, even that's gone out of the window. Now, while I can occasionally mash one straight, I can just as easily duck hook one 80 yards to the left as I can queef one weakly to the right and anything in between, which is, as I'm sure you can imagine, genuinely quite problematic when it comes to playing anything even approaching decent golf. Not only that, but even my swing itself has physically felt kind of wrong. It's not just the ball flight that was objectionable, but the actual movement of my body started to feel very alien and not in a good way. A bit like Prometheus. This is until my most recent golf lesson. I explained what was happening to my coach, he listened patiently, teed up a golf ball, handed me my driver, and had me hit one single shot, after which he explained what the problem was and how we could fix it in the next 30 seconds. Now, I've said many times on this channel that I am not going to give out swing tips. Not only am I not qualified to, I'm not nearly a good enough golfer to be dishing out advice on how to make your game better from a technical standpoint. However, I am going to relay this story because it was quite remarkable that something which had been keeping me awake at night was diagnosed and fixed on the spot. And if you are struggling with your driver and your symptoms sound anything like mine, then it is probably worth the 30 seconds to just check if you might be suffering from the same issue. What was remarkable was the simplicity of the fault and its fix, but also the fact that this was an issue which just crept into my game bit by bit without me even realizing. Two-way miss instantly made sense, as did the fact that my body was just feeling so weird when I was swinging my driver. The problem, quite simply, was alignment, but not just in the sense that I was aiming in the wrong direction. I was, it turns out, aiming in 3 different directions at the same time. Because I had previously worked on picking an intermediate target, my club face was at least pointing in pretty much the right direction. But then my shoulders and my feet were pointing in a different direction. And not just from the club face, but from each other as well. Quite the triple whammy. My feet were closed, i.e. aiming to the right. My shoulders were open, i.e. aiming to the left. And so the 3-way miss made sense. Sometimes I'd swing along the line of my feet and fade one or slice one out to the right. Sometimes I'd swing along the line of my shoulders and duck hook one to the left. And then, very occasionally, I'd split the difference and pound one straight down the middle. Not any way to live. My coach quickly whipped me into shape with some alignment sticks. Not literally, thankfully. And almost instantly, I was hitting the ball much more consistently and with a much more powerful ball flight. The most difficult part of the fix for me is the shoulders, because for me to aim straight, it turns out I have to feel like I'm cranked way round to the right. And at the moment, it's pretty awkward. But hopefully, if I keep working on it, it'll be natural soon enough. So my homework is to be disciplined with the alignment sticks when practicing, and to ideally have 3 down at all times, at least when I'm doing driver. 2 pointed towards my target, so train tracks essentially, with 1 working my feet to make sure that they are equidistant from the alignment stick and therefore aim straight. And then 1 to keep my ball position consistent, because that had also been getting out of whack and was kind of moving all over the place in my starts. Does all this mean I'm suddenly driving the ball like Rory McIlroy? Well, sadly no. I am ultimately still a mid-handicap golfer with a skill level to match, and I can still, just as well, block one right, pull one left, slice one, hook one, and anything in between. But I have played 3 rounds of golf since this intervention, and I can say I am driving the ball much, much better. My lateral dispersion has come down significantly, my ball flight is better, and I am hitting the ball further than I ever have before. So the signs are positive. Again, this is not advice, but it's also not bad for a 30-second intervention. Now, if I can just keep it going while making sure the other parts of my game stay on track, then maybe I'm onto something.
Now watch this drive.